Good evening, professors and peers. In this presentation, I will be talking about the limits of language and its impact on the discussion surrounding death and dying, just like that billiard ball. I always love a great joke. As I was scrolling through social media, I stumbled across these two memes that made me laugh non-stop. After my dignity took over my wild and fun-loving part, I pondered the question of whether outside of this context, death would be laughed at in the same way as it was. Later, I decided to put these images into this presentation because of their implication on how humor, more generally language, influences and reflects a certain tendency towards our perception of death, particularly how it is often underappreciated, trivialized, and misrepresented. We make the most out of our language through culture, experience, assumptions, and the surrounding context. These images that I showed you earlier capitalize on those aspects of language, employing both visual and verbal cues to make us laugh at a seemingly horrible subject that is death and dying. How much, you ask? We find the chicken picture to be funny because we know that number 1, chicken can't speak, and number 2, we use their eggs to make our all-time favorite fried eggs. For the second picture, we know that it is redundant to add the word death when the word killed is already used. But imagine how horrible it would be if we say man bitten to death, bashed to death, or even hit to death. Hence, humor and language make the subject of death become overlooked and less significant. Consequently, these images speak to the efforts of avoiding the discussion about death, making the topic less gloomy by placing it out of its ordinary context. We can also observe how death is trivialized throughout the discussion we have had so far in this course. In week 1, we learned that the Russian doctor Chekhov uttered the words "I am dying" in a foreign language, German, to capture the seriousness of the situation with this doctor and remove the necessary context to prevent his wife from misunderstanding him. In week 2, Caitlin Doughty, the author of Smoke Get in Your Eyes, admits that she wanted to put the fun back into the funeral. We also learned how media used language and other methods to cast an illusion on successful aging and death in Never Say Die. Another example of language usage is in Vietnamese slang. We Vietnamese people use the term "chết mẹ gọi" quite widely, which literally translates to "mom is dead" in English, when we realize that something went wrong. In conclusion, these images represent a small part of a wider range of language usage that undermines the significance of death. That's it from me, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure you hit that like and subscribe button, and I'll see you in the next video.